Entitled Karen cursed me out for planting in my own garden. Bought a house last year, renovated and moved it about a month ago. Up until now, we've had or thought we had a good relationship with the neighbour on the side of our house whose driveway is next to our house. We even got them fruit and chocolate when we closed on the house to be neighbourly. Last week we planted small compacted hollies to create a tiny hedge in our front raised high garden that is well within our own property line, not even the edge of the property line. Our neighbour Karen decides to come out today to curse us out, name called us bitch, witch, shitty neighbour, fruit, etc., etc., for planting the shrubs in our raised garden as it interferes with them opening their car door into our garden, walking well inside our garden to get in and out of their car. They even claim we are making their lives miserable and creating a dangerous tripping hazard when they climb into our garden to get in and out. I am beyond myself at the entitlement and unreasonableness. Originally we wanted to add more height to the garden and cap the top layer of the brick raised garden with concrete capped when we first purchased the house. Our first mistake was telling Karen at the time, since they always asked about our house update. Then Karen told us not to raise our raised garden any higher because they need to open their car door. At that point, we decided to be nice neighbours to keep peace, so we didn't, even though we had every right to and really envisioned our space so. Now a few months later we moved in, planted small compacted Japanese holly shrubs around the garden border but inside the brick edges of the raised garden bed, which is at least 1 foot inside our property line. Karen said we are the worst neighbours ever and hope all our plants die. Even went as far as threatening us, stating that we will be miserable living here. Like seriously? She's 69 years old and acts out like an unhinged child or maniac. Whole situation is mind-boggling. She demands we remove all the bushes along the side of our garden because they need to climb and step into our garden to open the car doors to get in and out. The screaming got so bad that even our neighbour across the street came to de-escalate the situation. Of course she yelled at him too, telling him to leave and mind his own business because she's been living on the block for 30 years. This is all in the front of the house. Max fencing height is 4 feet for front yards. However, we aren't really thinking of fencing because no one on the block has one in the front. It would look odd. In addition, she went ahead and tells my husband that our piece of shit bush in the backyard, which wasn't even planted by us and was there when we bought the house, is sticking into her yard and we need to get rid of it. On top of that, she said she's been a victim having to put up with our renovation shit and our backyard looks like shit, so she can't even invite people over. The backyard isn't our priority right now. However, it is fenced off from her property and kept relatively clean except when we had renovation going on in the winter time and materials were piled up while waiting to be trashed. This was mostly all kept away from the side of the fence near her. In my opinion, the stuff she says is mind-boggling and really disrespectful.